In time immemorial, mountains were moved, and many miracles were performed by men due to their faith in God. But with the decreased faith of man in God, these kinds of power have evaded man for a long time. However, some individuals today are still like men from time immemorial. Such as the young Sara who, out of her faith in God, was bestowed with His presence and blessed with supernatural power. It's Sunday, and Sara Hopkins attends church with her parents and brother, Danny. The pastor preaches about having faith in God, and Sara feels some connections with the pastor's words that day. In the afternoon, Sara and her parents, grandpa, and brother's girlfriend go to the neighborhood stadium to watch a match between her brother's soccer team and an opposition team. The match gets intense as her brother keeps getting pushed by a player named Bronner from the opposing side. Sara wishes she could help her brother's team win the match so that they would make it to the final. Sitting by her side, her grandpa reminds her of her faith in God and tells her to ask God to grant her wish. Sara did as her grandpa said and prayed to God to give her brother the strength to score. Miraculously, the prayer gets answered as her brother scores a few minutes after. However, Danny's team ends up losing the match. Sara expressed her dissatisfaction about the match's outcome to her grandpa, saying her prayer wasn't answered. But her grandpa assured her that her brother's team lost for a reason. These words further strengthen the little girl's faith in God. After the match, the family goes to Grandpa's house in the countryside for family time. Sara, her brother, and his girlfriend go to the lake beside the house for fishing. Sara sees a dead bird at the lake, and her brother offers to bury it for her. But she refuses, believing that the bird can come back to life. However, her brother expresses his disbelief about such an occurrence. Danny and Cindy eventually leave to fish on the other side of the lake. Sara kneels and prays to God to grant the bird its life back to reunite with its family. Later, Danny and his girlfriend return to find Sara at the same spot they left her. She asks them if they see God as He floats over the water. They are stunned by the question and think she is hallucinating. Her brother implores her to let them return home for dinner, and at that moment, a gentle breeze blows past them, and the dead bird is revived and flies away. Danny and his girlfriend are shocked and can't believe what they witnessed. On returning home, Sara goes to meet her grandpa, where he is axing wood. She narrates the incident at the lake to him, and he can't believe his ears at first, but later on, he believes her. Sara's grandpa then tells her to keep the incident a secret between them because not everyone will understand what she said and think she made it up. When Sara is in bed at night, she can't contain her excitement anymore. She smartly gains possession of her brother's phone and calls her best friend, Mark. Sara narrates the bird incident to Mark as she did to her grandpa, but Mark doesn't initially believe her. After a series of discussions, Mark believes her, and she tells him to keep it a secret. That night, as her mother tucked her into bed, Sara assured her mom that the incident she told her during dinner was true. Midway into the night, Danny rushes into their parents' room and alerts them that Sara is currently down with a fever when he goes to retrieve his phone from her. They call the doctor, and after running a test on her, the doctor diagnoses her as having stomach flu and says that she will recover in no time. As the doctor walks to his car, Sara's mother stops him and tells him about the miraculous incident that happened that day, thinking it might relate to the cause of her sickness. However, the doctor didn't believe in anything God-related and thought it was a healthy imagination. He assures them their daughter will be fine and leaves in his car. When Sara's dad returns to her room to check on her, he mistakenly hits his side on the bedside shelf, and while picking up the contents that fall, he sees a beautiful drawing among them. Surprised, he asks Sara where the drawing comes from, and she tells him she drew it, adding to his surprise since she isn't good at drawing. Sara's dad takes the drawing to her mom, and she is also shocked. Both know that something is amiss with their daughter. When Sara returned to school the next 2 days, she gave Mark a drawing she had made of him on their way home. Mark can't believe his eyes due to the incredible drawing. On their way home, they are cornered by 3 boys their age. The 3 start joking about Sara, taunting her about the miracle she did with the bird. Sara accuses Mark of divulging her secret. Luckily for the 2 kids, Sara's brother and girlfriend are in a supermarket nearby and sight them from afar. Danny chases the 3 boys away by kicking the ball he holds toward them. As the 4 of them walk home, they meet Bronner on the way, chilling with 3 of his friends by the roadside beside their car. He stops them by taunting Danny with his team's loss at their last match. Danny wants to pick a fight with him, but his girlfriend calms him down, and they try to walk away. Suddenly, like a jinx, Bronner's 3 friends enter the car, and one of them ignites the car and nearly runs over Bronner, who is standing on the road. Danny quickly hurls him out of the way, but his dog is run over by the car. Bronner is angry at what this friend did to his dog and wants to pick a fight with him, but Danny and the rest try to calm him down. While the adults are at this, Sara walks over to the dead dog and prays to God to revive it. And just like the bird, the dog comes back to life. All of them watch the situation with surprise written on their faces. As Mark and Sara continue their walk home, Mark implores Sara to pray for him to walk again, as he has been using a wheelchair after a car hit him 3 years ago. Sara agrees and prays for him, promising to continue praying when she gets home. The next day, Mark and his parents visit the hospital to show the doctor that Mark can now move his toes. The doctor didn't believe it at first, but when he witnessed it, he was surprised. Later, when Mark's mother and the doctor are talking in the reception, a popular news reporter visits the hospital as she's also a doctor's patient. At that moment, Mark walks out of the hospital room with his dad beside him, to the disbelief of everyone. His mother shouts out of joy, attracting the reporter in the process. She walks over to their side and recognizes Mark as she makes news about him during his accident. She is also surprised. At the spot, Mark reveals that it's the handiwork of Sara and reveals every miraculous thing Sara has done. On hearing the revelation, the reporter walks out of the hospital, intending to broadcast the matter. That night, the doctor and pastor visit the Hopkins, and they have some discussions with Sara about the miraculous incidents happening through her. While the pastor and her parents believe her, the doctor doesn't and thinks it's all an imagination. The doctor doesn't believe in miracles due to the hard blow life dealt him with the death of his only child. When Sara's father enters her room later that night, he meets her drawing a picture of an unknown girl on a horse. She tells him she feels the girl is trying to reach out to her. The scene cuts to reveal Teresa playing with her horses. Her uncle visits her with a horse gift, and she is glad about it because she's a fan of horses and keeps a collection of them. While putting the new horse on the shelf, Teresa expresses her sadness about the reality of her life. She has to die young because she's been diagnosed with cancer. Her uncle leaves her room for the sitting room to meet Teresa's mom watching the news about Sara. She decides to visit Sara regarding her daughter's case, and when Teresa's uncle tries to dissuade her, she refuses. News about Sara Hopkins' miraculous works has spread all around the town. The next morning, Sara's front yard is filled with sick people seeking her help for health. Her parents tried to dissuade her from going out to meet them, but she left them and walked outside. Her parents join her outside, and her dad addresses the crowd by debunking everything they hear about her. Sara is about to enter the house but turns back when she sees Teresa among the crowd. She recognizes her as the girl from her drawing and rushes to her. Sara holds Teresa's hands and prays for her, asking God to heal her, and Teresa is healed. That day, Sara cured every sick person in her front yard, and after the healing session, she slumps when climbing the stairs to her house. She is quickly scooped up by her dad and rushed to the hospital. At the hospital, the doctor sends a sample of her blood to another hospital to carry out a test on her. While in his office, a nurse demands the doctor's attention. Sara's family follows the doctor outside, and right on the television in the reception, a broadcast about the miracle performed by Sara in her front yard in the morning is being aired. They also see reporters lurking around the hospital as Sara has become an internet sensation. Knowing how bad the publicity can be on her health, Sara is discreetly moved out of the hospital by her family and taken to her grandpa's house. At Grandpa's house, the test results reveal that the 11-year-old girl has cancer. It's at the worst stage as it can't be operated on. The news shatters her family. Sara is moved to the hospital for treatment, but before then, she asks her parents to let her visit the lake, but they disagree, believing that the lake is the cause of the whole matter. As she's whisked to the hospital, she whispers that wish to her grandpa. The night Sara is moved to the hospital, his grandpa calls Mark and his family, Teresa and her family, and the pastor for a meeting at his house. He also calls Danny and his girlfriend. Once everyone is present, Grandpa talks about Sara's last wish to visit the lake, and a plan is devised to make that possible because they know the doctor and Sara's parents won't let her go. Teresa's mother works as a part-timer at the hospital. Using her ID card, Danny enters the changing room with her and changes into the uniform of a healthcare worker. Teresa has been dressed as Sara, so she is wheeled inside Sara's room as Grandpa smartly calls Sara's parents out of the room. Sara is meticulously removed from the bed by them, and Teresa replaces her. Danny's girlfriend and Mark are doing a good job keeping the nurses at the reception busy as Danny and Teresa's mom carries Sara out of the hospital into Danny's car. They alert the rest that they're through by SMS, and the rest enter the remaining 2 cars with Grandpa and Danny's girlfriend at the wheel, respectively. Before they can leave the hospital premises, Sara's parents detect the mischief and alert the doctor and police as they enter their car. A hot chase then begins between the whole lot. As Danny approaches the lake, a big tree falls on the road due to the night's heavy rainfall, preventing them from going further. But they are helped by Bronner, who appears at the scene and shows them a shortcut to the lake. Bronner scoops Sara into his hand, and they hurry along the shortcut to the lake, and luckily, they get there before the police get to them. They lay her gently beside the lake, and almost everyone in the town is already present there. They all surround her. During this moment, God reveals himself to everyone present there. The family lays the lifeless body of Sara on her bed so everyone can grieve, but then Danny finds a picture of Sara she drew of God accepting her into the lake, which was what happened that night. Moments later, he finds a similar drawing, but this time, Sara is running away from God and Sara comes back to life. A crowd of people is already gathered outside the house, and Sara goes outside and explains to them that God doesn't heal through her anymore, but they all need to turn to him for healing. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to help the channel. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.